Hello and welcome back, everybody. So, after that last game, or the last session, rather, it's been really weird. Like, what was that? And, well, we're back at it. I don't even know how to describe what even happened. If you want to see, please go back to the last video because for a first run, man, that was crazy. I think what I'm going to do in this run is do what I should have done the first run, is do the actual what I should have done the first
You're
run.
here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I think the first playthrough, I probably should have just listened to him. You can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab or RI on your controller. Well, I'm on a keyboard and mouse, so we're gonna do the tab button. Okay. So here we can actually ask the questions that we probably should have asked.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
So literal end of the world. But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, I went back to the achievements, and I don't remember if this was one of the achievements that I actually unlocked, but there is an achievement that I saw in the global one. Again, I saw both the global achievements. I saw the global achievements thinking that they were the achievements that I had, and then I later found out, no, these are the global achievements. But I did see an achievement that was basically bring the stranger to her, or something to that effect. So we, the monster in the mirror, are the stranger. So I thought I'd bring that up because that might be something that comes up later. Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's
While I
locked up?
appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
I don't care, because the last time, we used as much time as we needed.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
Well, trying to be definitive, aren't you? How quaint.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
So it's kind of weird because in the last game, there were two voices. One was the hero, and one was the contrarian, and those were in addition to the narrator. I don't know if we had those voices added when we decided to turn back from the cabin, because I think we chose to turn back twice, and I think that might have ended up with us having those two additional voices. And I wonder if it's because when we turned back, we restarted reality or something without being forgotten. But anyways, the point that I wanted to bring up is that the narrator never knew about the being dead or having died. The narrator just apparently seems only to live within the specific run. So I thought that was something interesting to take note of. Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Well, I think that depends. Not every seamstress will contribute to something of value to society. What if they were a terrible seamstress? There are some people that are terrible at their jobs, but like a monarch could be somebody who actually does something. And in some countries, some monarchs are a figurehead, a leader, but not like really a ruler. But that doesn't mean that they have no value. Can't someone else do this?
Oh, if only that were the case. But I don't make the rules.
Well, maybe you do and maybe you don't.
I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. But unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Because we're the player.
Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Alright, just forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
I don't know about that. There are all kinds of people out in the world.
I mean, maybe some people do.
Exactly.
Nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Well, the fact that you have to even ask means that you're unsure, which means that you don't know us. Why would you just make that assumption that way? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
The reward is we get a knife in the back. Can you tell me what my prize is going to be before doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Yeah. Usually when they're making it vague like that, it's not something you want. Okay, forget this. I'm not doing this. This is an explore, so that's not an action. This is just a talking point.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
All right, so these are actions, I think, because they don't say explore. So we can silently continue to the cabin, or we can make some kind of ruckus. Look, I'll go to the cabin, maybe I'll talk to her, and if she's bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had a chance to meet her. Or, okay, fine, I'll go to the cabin. Okay, I'm sold, let's get this over with. Or silent. Or thanks for telling me what to do. I know some people are going to be like, why are you stressing out about which your choice is? When I loaded up the game from Steam, it was on the Steam store page for this game. And I recall seeing a comment or maybe a quote or something. You know how quote publications when they played the games, like, oh, 10 out of 10, blah, blah, blah. One said something about choices actually having consequences and stuff. So I feel like, if I pick something, it's gonna have a choice, some kind of thing that happens in the end, because it's a branching narrative game. But I feel like I'm gonna go with this one. We'll talk to her and maybe slay her.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Doomed.
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Well, either it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. So, yeah, 50-50. Those are pretty decent odds.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
This is where the voice of the hero came in. Is the voice of the contrarian here too?
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I'll proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I just want to take a moment to make a notice of a couple of things. So something different between this run and the last one. There's no mirror. And in the last one, it was like a different cabin. Like there was a wooden cabin, there was like a stone cabin, and like some other one. And like the narrator described it as like multiple cabins making one. And like the mirror was like the narrator couldn't see the mirror, you know? But here there is no mirror because, well, I guess because we're listening to the narrator, he couldn't see it. So maybe as that effect that we're listening to him, like we can't see it perhaps. But I wonder if like you can make choices that take you to like the rock cabin. All right, but I think for this run, we're mostly gonna listen to him and probably do. I feel like most people probably, I don't know this for sure, but they probably just listen and just take the first ending, you know, like do everything, just like be a simp, be, you know, a slave to the instructions and stuff, and just like see what happens. And I think we're gonna do that. We didn't do that the first time, so we're just gonna go in for it.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
So you say. So let's enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I think it's cool that like the cursor changed to the blade. Now we didn't have the blade when we went down the stairs the last time, and it stayed as like the hooked finger. I wonder like if that's a theme, like there are other things that we do or that have happened that changed the cursor.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Oh, very firm, that one.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Exactly, very firm.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi. Just checking in on you. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you? Or just continue down the stairs. I guess we'll just send a greeting on.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Yeah, but why no other chain? Why not, like, have one to bind her other wrist, too?
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
Yeah,
And
there's no
there
contrarian.
you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Yes? There's no contrarian in this run. We have the hero, but no contrarian. What? No way. Why would you even think that? Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you. Nuh-uh. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Steel your nerves and step forward. I think we're just gonna say we're here to talk. Because we haven't decided one way or another, but we haven't told. Why tell her we haven't decided yet?
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat.
You know, hero, or voice of the hero, not every threat is physical. Sometimes the threat is mental. Sometimes the threat is manipulative. And that's what the narrator was talking about. She's like she can lie and manipulate.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
But it feels like we're a monster ourselves. I wonder if like going through these loops is preparing this monstrous body for the entity at the end, because we're supposed to meet her after we go through a bunch of these things. So I don't know if maybe that's a thing. All right, so I say we drop it and then talk to her. You know, like civil folk. Well, maybe. How many civil folk have voices in their head that they listen to, especially when it comes to like moidering people? Oh, I wonder what this is. I saw this in the last one. Like this finger here was all the way over here at one point. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. We're gonna drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Unceremonious.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Yeah, she definitely sounds like she's in control.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
The narrator is so salty right now. Against your better judgment. And he was like, unarmed.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. I wonder if the hero is like her hero and like is going to help her manipulate us.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
He is so adamant on killing her, but won't tell us anything.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
A relationship? Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
She looks like she's very irritated right now. Like she's picking at her fingers. Alright, well, what's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
Oh, hesitates.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
So, I wonder if that's a front. Like, maybe the irritation is some way of making you want to kill her? What if killing her is what she wants and is what brings about the end of the world, and the narrator is the one that is lying to us?
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Well, what makes you think that I can trust you? How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Too
Again,
long.
she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
I wonder if she can also hear the narrator. Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
Nope. I just got a voice in my head. You're apparently going to end the world. I know what I've been told. Whether or not I believe it is an entirely different matter. Or we can just lie and say no, and we can remain silent. I mean, we don't know that the reason she is down here is because she's going to end the world. In fact, her existence itself seems to be what causes the end of the world, according to the narrator. And if that's the case, why would somebody chain her up and imprison her? There must be another reason, right? But she seems like she's in charge, so she would know that we were quote-unquote lying. So I'm gonna go with this one, because we know what we were told, but I don't know who to trust at this point.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Well, you were also not sharing any details either, so you need to also share details if you want details from us. That is talking. Alright. How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't...
If there isn't?
Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
What do you mean? Like to cut your arm off? Or to use it to pry the lock? Because that's not really how locks work.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
I mean, maybe she might want us to kill her.
She is. I'm sure of it.
I'm here because you're supposed to end the world. Or there's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
Look, her eyes went all crazed. It's like she doesn't even know.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
And yet somehow you look radiant. Your skin looks fine. You don't look like you're malnourished. And it doesn't look like your clothing has frayed or anything. So how long is a long time?
Just how long has she been down here?
That's my question, voice of the hero.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous?
No, that's what I'm trying to ascertain. Deflect, what are you going to do if I let you out of here? Or we can actually make an answer. I've been told enough. I was hoping you'd tell me. No, but I'm sure they have their reasons for keeping that information secret from me. No, and if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I'm inclined to trust them. I'm not inclined to entrust either of them. I think they're both sus. Shady AF, man. Okay, what are you going to do?
Princess hesitates before responding.
That hesitation, man. That hesitation. It's so sus.
She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life.
Yeah, but what's weird is if she's been here that long, who's taking care of her? Or, having her needs met?
She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Yeah, but you also were saying that she's been down here for that long, too.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful.
What does that mean?
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
That is true.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
Indeed.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
Each other? You think you could outpower me? I'm a monster, lady. Have you seen me?
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
What's getting me is the voice of the hero is the same as the narrator.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
It could just maybe give me insight into maybe your mannerisms, which might make me think one way or another based upon how reluctant you've been you are to answer any questions, or the motions of your body that might be different from one question to another. Perhaps the process of you answering a question is enough to make me make certain assumptions.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
You know, narrator, neither is your word.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
Well, the narrator didn't put you here either.
She's
don't
wrong.
think.
This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
Yeah. He just inserted that. A subjugating monarch, no less. He just threw that in there. Like, we don't know anything about her. We don't know that she, like, he's got, like, a thing against monarchs, because he said something up earlier, like, what are you, a monarchist? Or something like that. It's like, dude, chill. Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Alright, so we can either slay the princess, or I'm getting you out of here and examine the chains, or I'm going to keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do and keep her locked away. So, in this playthrough, I've kind of questioned both of them. Maybe in this run, because I've kind of questioned them both, maybe I'll go with like an in-between and see how badly it goes. Because it always goes badly for the early on sections when you just go down the middle, because it never goes right. You always got to go one extreme to like really get advanced forward. So I think we're gonna stick in the middle and see how far we get.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
Maybe by killing us and then taking the blade that we dropped?
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't,
If we don't?
I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
Oh, that look on her face.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Yeah, let's stay in the middle. She'll probably get free and kill us, and then we get reset back to the beginning anyways. So, and then we can do one of these other ones later.
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work. If we just stay here and keep watch, no one has to die.
Yeah, except us.
You're making a mistake.
Notice how her voice is much more firm this time.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way to the stairs.
Oh, we did pick up the blade because it's the cursor here, and I heard the blade get picked up, but yeah, she's gonna take the chains and choke us, isn't she, from behind?
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Oh, or maybe because she gets malnourished. But if you're malnourished, you don't have any strength unless you're some kind of monster.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing.
I don't think so either.
Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job.
no, we're sticking the plan and locking her down here. Yeah, neither of them feels very trustworthy. I feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but we're gonna stick to the plan, and we're gonna keep her down
It'll
here.
be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work.
Can we, though?
You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
A wailing voice?
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out?
Holy cow, she is a freaking monster. She's already slipped the chains. What? What? Oh my goodness. I'm so freaked out. Guys, dudes, you don't even know. Like, I'm like really legit freaked out right now. Because I got kids, and I only am able to find time to play after everyone in the house has already fallen asleep. And dude, I've got all the lights off. I'm here in my computer area all by myself. Like I've got cameras on my kids and stuff, but like they're super small. They're super small. They're not even a year old, but like, dude, right now, and like this pounding from the door, oh geez, I'm like legit kind of like, it's freaking me out. It's freaking me out.
It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. Huh? It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
Indeed. Definitely.
As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
Oh, she's gonna break through. It feels like she's like already knocking the wooden doors off of its like hinges already.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it.
Oh man, what? This is like, Jews, I'm getting like goosebumps right now.
You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
Oh man.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
No, definitely not. Like, she is gonna be the thing that ends the world.
No, it doesn't.
Alright, so threaten me all you want. All it does is ease my guilty conscience. So all of that was just an act, wasn't it? You're not really innocent or harmless. You're not even a princess. You're a monster. Or ignore her and go to sleep. Dude, even at a moment like this, we got options, and I bet every one of them makes a branching story path. Because I gotta say, I think I mentioned in the last video I played A Lake of Voices, and it's kind of similar. It's like a visual novel. It's like, you know, it's like this, where there's like pictures and stuff, and then you move through, and it's just, but that one was way smaller in the install size. This was like, I think it was like 8 gigs to install on my computer. Like, dude, how many paths does this game have? Maybe it's all in our head. I mean, the voice of the hero, why is it just a voice? And we have a narrator in our head. Why is there a narrator in it? Maybe this is in our head too. Let's just ignore her and go to sleep, maybe?
Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it.
Or it'll bust open and she'll, like, devour us.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall.
I'm bracing for, like, a jump scare here.
You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way.
But she didn't kill us. Yet.
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful
Whoa.
basement.
Dude, what the? Is she a ghost or something? What?
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working.
Yeah, if I was seeing this, I would too. I'd be shaken with fear. Like,
It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
that's freaky. It's kind of like those people who have the night paralysis. Dude.
Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
Dude, I just realized the narrator, it can be heard by the hero. They have to be voices in our head because she couldn't hear the narrator, or at least she didn't acknowledge that the narrator had been talking or anything.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
Oh, Jesus.
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Organs? Organs shutting down one by one?
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Wonderfully evil things, maybe?
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
Yeah, we just shut down and die.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark.
And you die. Dude, what? The Nightmare. Chapter 2, what?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh. Dude, okay. So, I think each chapter is a run, right? And in our first run that we had in the last video was the one where we met I'm going to call it the entity. And it said it was going to make us forget. I think if you go on multiple runs, because it said that it needed more pieces of itself. So maybe after a certain amount of runs, you rack up a certain amount of chapters, right? And after a certain amount of chapters, there's an ending that opens up. But we didn't hit that before we finally hit that ending. And then making us forget. What if we were on like chapter 30 or whatever, and it wasn't enough, and then we hit that, and it's like, oh, you have to forget now, and then you get knocked back to chapter 1? Maybe? I don't know. But you know, what I do know is that at this point, I think we are far enough into this video that I'm going to call it a day on this one. Man, what? That was crazy. And I think in the next one, I think what we're going to do is we're going to just directly listen to the narrator and just like slay her. But we will do that in the next video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I hope that you will come back for more, and I hope to see you then. Until then, everyone, bye.